There are a lot of people who are unhappy at work. People hate their jobs. Now, I'm an employment lawyer, and when people come to me, everything's already gone south. So, of course, I'm going to see a lot of unhappiness. But I was curious as to just how pervasive the problem is, just how many people out there really hate their jobs. So, I decided to do a little research, and the results are all over the place. Some studies show that 85% of Americans hate their jobs. That's a really high number. But then there are some studies that show that at least 50% of Americans are somewhat satisfied with their jobs. So I'm not sure what the answer is. But even if you take that lower number, 50% of Americans hate their jobs, that's a really high number still. And of course, that made me start thinking and questioning whether or not it's really the job that they hate, or is it the people that they're surrounded by? And I know your first inclination is to think, of course, it's the people, but of course, that's not always the case. Sometimes it's actually the work. For example, there are a number of attorneys who graduate from law school with a lot of debt and find out pretty quickly it's not that easy to find a really high-paying job. So they opt to do contract work instead, and that pays like $50 an hour, pretty decent money. But what they found out very quickly is that the work is mind-numbing. You literally review documents every day, emails and memos and letters, to make sure that those documents don't contain attorney-client privilege information that should not be turned over to the other side. And that is literally what the job is all day, reading documents for privilege. But then you have some attorneys who've been working for a really long time and who love doing this work. And they love it because they can leave the work at work when they go home. They don't have to drive business. They don't have to deal with clients. They don't have to go to court. They love the fact that that's the job, and they can get paid and leave it at that. So I don't know that the answer is that cut and dry, that people hate their work just because of who they deal with. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Tell me, what are your thoughts though? Do people really hate their jobs, or is it just the people who come with? Let me know your thoughts.